on TV.
It's brought to you by our friends at Security Dodge. I'd like to start off this big old Monday ENN by saying good evening to all of us.
Clown show, clown show, clown show, clown show.
And also to
Ambassador Johnson?
Sure. And to Michael and myself.
Did you just kill a fly, Peter? It was beautifully done.
I tried to.
Oh, you didn't get it? Okay.
I think I did.
He has no where he spits. He hocks to us on wrestling.
And to Don.
We huddle up before every show. And we go 1, 2, 3. Let's be good.
And to myself. You listen to me, you pumpkin pie haircutted freak. Never forget. I do want to say properly, guys, congratulations to friend of the show, Q-Tip, and the rest of A Tribe Called Quest. 2024 inductees to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Of course, the Jets showed their respect for Q-Tip by laying complete and utter egg on national TV yesterday. I thought that was nice. And, Don, you'll be happy to know that when I was backstage, and big thank you to Questlove and the Roots who brought me to the show, essentially, and allowed me to be backstage hanging out. And once I was back there, and with a credential, you give Peter Rosenberg a credential backstage somewhere he's not essentially supposed to be, I all of a sudden revert back to 22-year-old me. And my phone, my cell phone, turned into my old school mini recorder. And now I'm just doing a podcast by myself backstage.
This is like Almost Famous.
Yeah, I'm just there just chatting it up. And I started talking to people. First, I'm interviewing mostly people I know, artists that I know. But as I be talking to them, different people would walk by. And I can't help but address them when they walk by. So I'm interviewing my friend Mad Skills, and we're talking about hip-hop and whatever. And we're just sitting on a couple of crates, like equipment crates or whatever. And we're talking, and Cher walks by. And I just go, oh, hey, it's Cher. And she's like, hi. And I'm like,
it's Cher.
No, it's Cher. And she said hi.
Not Cher or Jace.
No, real Cher. I did the same to Slash. He only pointed, though, so his voice didn't get on the podcast.
Still,
but here's the record for, and by the way, I spent the whole night hanging with Dave Chappelle. What a great hang with Dave Chappelle. What a guy. Love the man. But Michael, the truest, I only got about 5 words from her, but the most A-list voice ever on a Peter Rosenberg hosted podcast. I'm standing there talking to Pasta News from De La Soul. We're chatting it up. Julia freaking Roberts walks by. And I go,
pretty woman.
I go, oh my God, it's Julia Roberts. And you know what she said? Hi, I'm Julia Roberts. If anyone out there is wondering, you see her on TV and you go, could anyone actually be that like sweet and angelic seeming all the time? That is just her. She's like a floating perfection just moving through the universe.
Wow. So she sounds like a female me.
You know what? Not at all. Honestly, that never even remotely crossed my mind.
You know what?
It was a hell of a time, though. I enjoyed the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Really, really good show. It's on Disney Plus if you want to take it in and consume it. Don, Dua Lipa performed with Cher, if that were to interest you. We talked about the Jets, but there was one piece of audio we did not play.
Let's hear it.
From Aaron Rodgers. How does this team stick together, Aaron?
Stop listening to you guys, number one. Number two, got to be accountable. I got to play better. That's the key. I got to play better. We got to find a way to run the ball better so we can action pass. Did some nice things in the passing game. Brees obviously had a couple of really nice ones. Spread the ball around to Tay, G, and Allen. Mike had a nice conversion. But we got to run the ball better, and I got to play better.
Stop listening to us.
Yeah, I would have reversed I would have reversed the order there. I don't know if the number one issue is
really because I mean, how many slobbering Jet fans are actually in the national media? So, I mean, you're not exactly getting picked apart. The reason you shouldn't listen to us is because we're actually reporting how bad your team is.
I know that's an easy thing to throw out there because everybody go like, yeah, don't listen to the media. They're evil. They're awful people. But what exactly are we saying that's unfair? That's what I would like to know. What exactly are we saying? We don't know what we're talking about. We know we don't think on your level. We know we never played the game of football. But what exactly are we saying that's unfair? What's inaccurate? All right. What information are we accentuating that is not right. That's what I'd like to know, Michael. You paint us as the evildoers, and the media's all got. What are they saying that's wrong?
Well, because
he's
a guy who looks into things and tries to find things that normal people like us don't see. So we're not on his level. So anything we say is beneath him.
But it's also part of the culture now that when you get called on your stuff, you point the finger back at somebody else. So, the first thing you got to do is stop talking to you, stop listening to you. All right, because the real answer is, well, maybe you got to play better, which he eventually did get to. But really, with all the things that are going on with the Jets at 2-5, the first thing they got to do to stay together is to not listen to the media. So instead of I got to do a better job leading, I got to do a better job playing. Instead of leading with that, the first thing it's got to be, well, it's somebody else's fault. They're spending too much time listening to the media that wants you to fail. Believe me, the media doesn't want you to fail. They're not even really supposed to want you to succeed, but they don't want you to fail. But I know these people, Michael, and the people that cover this team all the time. Do you think they want to cover a 2-5 football team, or do you think they want to cover a team that's got a chance to win a Super Bowl? The negative comes from the way you're playing. Now, maybe in Green Bay it was a little different, Michael, because right next to Lambeau was somebody's house. So they were part of the community. So maybe the media there did wave the pom-poms and always kind of skewed on the positive because it really meant something to that community that the Packers be good, or at least perceived to be good. But you know what? In New York, where there's so much else going on, listen, the people that wanted to watch that game really wanted to watch that game. There's other stuff going on. Liberty were winning a championship. The Mets season was coming to an end. I mean, this is New York. They're going to report on what they see. They're not going to wave their pom-poms, man. Come on. For the guy that's supposed to be thinking on a completely different level, it seems like very kind of minor league to just blame the media for the situation that you're in. God, it's just so, it's lazy.
Even Greeny. Or as it's listed on our screen
you
here.
lose Greeny, you lose the nation.
Or as it's listed here on my screen, Grenny.
They played 7 games. You tell me one thing that suggests they're going to go on the kind of winning streak it would take for them to make the playoffs. They were badly coached, then they fired their coach and got worse coached. Rodgers, unfortunately, is a soon-to-be 41-year-old quarterback coming off a devastating injury, and he looks every bit of both of those.
I'm going to say something to Greeny, and hopefully he's listening.
Or Grenny.
And feel free to call in. Mm-hmm. Or text me on the side, whatever you want to do. Any pain that you're feeling from this team, and I know he's feeling it, right, Michael? He loves this team. It's completely on him. 100% on him.
He did it to himself.
Yeah. Acting like a yo-yo, jumping up and down during McAfee. We got Devontae Adams. It's all going to come together. And then you lose to Pittsburgh, and now you're down on yourself. That's on you. It's a self-inflicted wound. It's like a guy trying to get out of the military by shooting himself in the foot. That's what Greeny is. For him to jump up and down like JoJo the Yo-Yo fan on McAfee, only to now cry crocodile tears less than a week later, it's on him. Bad job.
In other words,
Clown show! Clown show!
Am I wrong?
Clown
Do I have anybody have my back?
No, of course.
And I love this man.
No, he did
but
it to
sometimes you got to take somebody aside. What Michael should have done to me in 2010, Don, do not wear white socks with black pants. Don't be 50 pounds overweight and have a stupid goatee like you're working over at some kind of discount video store in 1985. Wrap your arm around me and say, Don, do better.
And would you have listened to me? No, you would not have.
That's on me.
I've had
And
enough of this blaming me. You sound like Aaron Rodgers.
No. I'm just saying. What I'm doing is what you should have done with me.
You wouldn't have
10 years ago.
listened.
I'm putting my hand around Greeny. If he doesn't listen, that's on him. If I didn't listen, that'd be on me. But at least your hands would be clean. I want my hands to be clean. I'm putting my hand around Greeny right now. Put my arm around him and tell him, do better. Don't set yourself up for failure. Don't jump up and down like you're 15 years old and you got kissed for the first time because Devontae Adams is in the Jets on the Jets field being a wide receiver for you, and now all of a sudden they play poorly on national television. Like, oh no, they're 2-5. I can't believe. Oh really? JoJo the Yo-Yo fan.
Let's spend one moment on the Giants, who stink also.
Right. One moment for representing the one thing they did well yesterday, and that's breathe.
Here's Brian Dable.
Certainly a tough game. got out coached, got out played. Made a change in the fourth quarter when it was 28-3. We had 100 yards just to create a spark. Daniel will be the quarterback going forward. Didn't do enough offensively. Hardly had any yards, no points.
By the way, Daniel was kind of chapped.
Stop it, Daniel.
Was it frustrating getting pulled, Danny Dimes?
Yeah, it was frustrating. You want to be out there playing with your teammates and fighting to score points and move the ball. And, yeah, so I was frustrated, but not my decision. But, yeah, frustrating for sure, and want to be out there playing.
Hey, here are the splits, by the way. Home. Or road. 41 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. That's good. Quarterback rating of 91.8.
Okay.
Home, 27 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, 77.9 rate.
That's not good, right?
How can that be? Oh, by the way, the record's exactly the same because they just stink.
Isn't that funny? Isn't it funny? One of the great compliments that I think those of us who have affection for Daniel Jones have always said, the one thing you love about Daniel Jones is, at least front-facing and publicly, he's done a great job dealing with the New York pressure. But that's not what it looks like on the field. Maybe it all just comes out in the field. Like, he always says the right thing in the press conference, but the stats tell you something about New York does get to him.
And Dable did tell us that he still has the job, but otherwise all he did was recap everything we saw.
I wonder if Daniel Jones called him Dabes.
Oh, I love Brick. Love Bobby.
Hey, I do have a football note that just came in, Peter.
Is it about Jaden Daniels?
No. Brandon Ayuk suffered a season-ending knee injury against Kansas City.
It might be. I rarely say this.
Rarely.
I think it maybe pack it up Niners this year.
You know what? You're out of your mind. Just like picking the Jets yesterday. You're both out of your mind.
I'm not feeling the Niners this year.
Feel this.
I know they Niner, but
well, Purdy's not playing well.
Purdy doesn't look good. He had a
Ayuk wasn't playing well.
Purdy, you saw Purdy's pick in the end zone?
Yeah.
Not good.
Not good.
Ugh, not good. Not good is what things have been in Cleveland when it comes to not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but the Cleveland Browns. And now it officially comes to an end for Deshaun Watson. I have to imagine somehow he never puts on a Cleveland Brown uniform again. I don't know how, but it is officially an Achilles tear. They will go to Jameis Winston. And the Brown fan reaction, Don, they were not saddened by the demise of Deshaun Watson. And here's Myles Garrett on the fan reaction.
It was harder with the reaction that the fans gave. Whether it's an opponent that goes down or one of our own, we don't boo. We don't boo the guys that are injured on the field, especially with the extent where the card comes out. And we should be ashamed of ourselves as Browns and as fans to boo anyone and their downfall, to be season-altering, career-altering injury. Man, it's not perfect. He doesn't need to be. None of us are expected to be perfect. Can't judge him for what he does, off the field or on the field, because I can't throw stones from my glass house. But we need to do better. We need to do better on the football field, and we need to do better as fans for having some empathy for a man who's doing the best he can and did the best he can up to this point. We have to be better.
I want to tell you how phony the fans are.
Go ahead.
They embraced him with a warm, open bosom
100%.
when he was signed, despite all the terrible things he was accused of doing and has settled all those things, right? Had no problem with the person that he was. Never booed him that he might have assaulted all of these women. Never, ever, ever did they do that. Because they thought he was a good quarterback. The only reason they started booing him is because he couldn't play anymore. And they started cheering when he got hurt because they don't have to watch him play anymore. So, I mean, first of all, the players defending him like he's like Gandhi. He's not Gandhi. There are people that he affected in their life, too.
Hold on. Myles Garrett didn't say that.
No, but you know what? Jameis Winston did.
Well, with all due respect, I say this completely respectfully. Jameis Winston's an idiot. But Myles Garrett's response there was he made clear he's not a perfect guy.
He was spot on.
But it's not right to
Winston went a little bit too far, a little too preachy for my liking.
But I thought, he's so weird.
But I thought Myles Garrett nailed it. Do whatever you want. Don't boo somebody just got
He's right.
All right, come on.
But shows you what the fans are about. They cheered a guy that supposedly assaulted all of these women, allegedly. They cheered him, but because he couldn't play anymore, they booed him. And I'm not just saying that this is exclusive to Cleveland. It's fans all over the world.
All over.
No, Myles Garrett nailed that. It was as if the point he was making was Mason Rudolph's head and the helmet. You get the idea. Can we talk about something happy?
You got it?
Sure.
Carlton lobs it in, taken away by Beamish, off to Stewart. 28 years in the making. The New York Liberty are WNBA champions.
more than 27 years after playing for the inaugural championship. And several near misses later, the Liberty are your WNBA champions. 67-62 overtime victory in Game 5 at the Barclays Center over the Lynx. Let's hear from Stewie, Brianna Stewart.
Oh, it means everything. I wanted to come here. I wanted to be the first, and I want to be here without my teammates. You know, we had some ups and downs. The series was tough, but we fought through because we wanted to bring it home in this city and this crowd. This crowd is amazing.
Good news for John Starks, as Sabrina Ionescu overshadowed Starks' legendary horrifying game. She was 1 for 19 from the floor. I thought about Sabrina like late in that game, Michael. I go, if they hang on to this game, you can forget about it. If they'd lost the game, it would have been such a tough thing to live down after she had the absolute hero shot in Game 3. To then go 1 for 19 in Game 5 and lose would have been brutal, but doesn't matter. They win.
You know what I like, though, Peter?
What's that?
Minnesota's coach, the grace and class she handled the loss.
Oh, let's hear it.
I know all the headlines will be Reeve cries foul. Bring it on, right? Bring it on, because this was stolen from us. Bring it on.
I did not see the game, Peter. You saw it. I did hear a lot of people on social media saying that the Liberty were gifted that game. Would that be the way you describe it?
The foul
disparity was big.
The foul disparity was big, and particularly the foul with 5 seconds left in regulation, though, I thought was a foul. They're showing it right now, and yes, I thought that was a foul, guys. They're showing it again, Don, if you want to see it right now. I thought there was body contact right there. I thought it was a foul. I don't know. Either way, though, I do respect just utterly saying it was stolen from us. You don't get that every day. That'll do it for ENN on this Monday evening. It's brought to you by Security Dodge. Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during their Jeep Adventure days.
All right, we'll come back. We'll take more phone calls, break down the upcoming World Series, the postmortem for the Mets. It's Kayla, Greco, Rosenberg, and you. But first, Peter has to tell us about BetterHelp.